Ideas are the source of all things. I am the wisest man alive, for I know one thing, and that is that I know nothing. All I really know is the extent of my own ignorance. Love is a serious mental disease. He whom love touches not walks in darkness. If a man can be properly said to love something, it must be clear that he feels affection for it as a whole and does not love part of it to the exclusion of the rest. Love is the pursuit of the whole. The true measure of a man is what he does with power. Any man may easily do harm, but not every man can do good to another. Character is simply habit long continued. Good people do not need laws to tell them to act responsibly, while bad people will find a way around the laws. No wealth can ever make a bad man at peace with himself. The man who finds that in the course of his life he has done a lot of wrong often wakes up at night in terror, like a child with a nightmare, and his life is full of foreboding. But the man who is conscious of no wrongdoing is filled with cheerfulness and with the comfort of old age. This city is what it is because our citizens are what they are. For it is likely that if a city of good men came to be, there would be a fight over not ruling, just as there is now over ruling. And there it would become manifest that a true ruler really does not naturally consider his own advantage, but rather that of the one who is ruled. One of the penalties of refusing to participate in politics is that you end up being governed by your inferiors. The heaviest penalty for declining to rule is to be ruled by someone inferior to yourself. This and no other is the root from which a tyrant springs. When he first appears, he is a protector. Ignorance, the root and stem of every evil. You should not honor men more than truth. No one is more hated than he who speaks the truth. The beginning is the most important part of the work. Those who are able to see beyond the shadows and lies of their culture will never be understood, let alone believed by the masses. The greatest wealth is to live content with little. Money makers are tiresome company, as they have no standard but cash value. Death is not the worst that can happen to men. For to fear death, my friends, is only to think ourselves wise without really being wise, for it is to think that we know what we do not know, for no one knows whether death may not be the greatest good that can happen to man. Either we shall find what it is we are seeking, or at least we shall free ourselves from the persuasion that we know what we do not know. An empty vessel makes the loudest sound, so they that have the least wit are the greatest babblers. Knowledge is the food of the soul. Thinking is the talking of the soul with itself. Those who don't know must learn from those who do. Opinion is the medium between knowledge and ignorance. Wise men talk because they have something to say, fools because they have to say something. The first and best victory is to conquer self. The lack of activity destroys the good condition of every human being. True friendship can exist only between equals. He who is of a calm and happy nature will hardly feel the pressure of age, but to him who is of an opposite disposition, youth and age are equally a burden. Physical excellence does not of itself produce a good mind and character. On the other hand, excellence of mind and character will make the best of the physique it is given. The excellence of a good body doesn't make the soul good, but the other way around. The excellence of a good soul makes the body as good as it can be. The two most important questions are, who will teach the children? What will they teach them? Virtue is the desire of things honorable, and the power of attaining them. Only those who do not seek power are qualified to hold it. The wise man will want to be ever with him who is better than himself. They deem him their worst enemy who tells them the truth. We can easily forget a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. It is impossible to improve the world if first the man does not improve. I am better off than he is, for he knows nothing and think that he knows. I neither know nor think that I know. Most people are not just comfortable in their ignorance, but hostile to anyone who points it out. These are some of the words of Plato. Hope these inspires you to become a better version of yourself. Also, don't forget to subscribe.